Alright, you guys, what I've got for you today is section 1.4 for pre-calc. It's on function composition, as you can obviously read. What I need to do is explain the different ways of writing these. This is pronounced f plus g of, and I'm saying the word of, f plus g of x. And that's exactly the same thing as writing f of x plus g of x. All it means is f plus g of x means take the two functions and add them together. So if you've got one function that's x squared plus x minus 2, and the other function is g of x, which is x plus 1, you're just going to take the two functions and add them together. So it's just a matter of collecting like terms. There's nothing really that special about it. It's just the notation of getting used to it. F plus g of x is take f of x and add it to g of x. F minus g of x, similar thing. Whatever. Now here, adding doesn't matter. 3 plus 2 is commutative. You can write same thing as 2 plus 3. But as you guys know, subtraction is not. 3 minus 2 is not the same thing as 2 minus 3. So here, order is important. Here, you have to take g of x and subtract it from f of x. Who is first is what you write first. So f minus g of x is your first function minus the second function. First function minus the second function. Don't forget to distribute that subtraction inside. Whoa, my handwriting got really poor there for a second. Worse than usual. Sorry about that. So subtract x minus 1. And now you're collecting like terms. So it's going to be x squared plus x minus 2 minus x minus 1. X is canceling out, so it's x squared minus 3, just like I've got there. Okay. If I gave you g minus f of x, then you got to take g of x, x plus 1, and subtract f of x from it. So x squared plus x minus 2. So again, order does matter. X plus 1 minus x squared minus x plus 2. So that would be minus x squared. X's again cancel out. Plus 3. And you can see order does matter. The answer is different. Okay. The mathematical symbol that's hiding inside there, or that isn't printed in there, is times. So it's f times g of x. So that's f of x times g of x. I don't see the value in necessarily thinking of it this way, because it just, you read that, but you do this. F times g of x is f of x times g of x. So you're just going to multiply the two functions together. And as you guys know, 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2. So the order that these are in aren't going to matter. In case you guys didn't practice it in Algebra 2, or you've forgotten since then, you guys can either do the distributive property and distribute these things through. So you get x cubed plus x squared minus 2x, and then all that times 1 gives you x squared plus x minus 2. Collect like terms, and there you go. There's another way you can do it, is that you draw yourself, in this case, a rectangle. I'm going to put x and 1 on one side, x squared, x, and minus 2 on the other, and then I'm going to multiply each box together. So that gives you x cubed. X times x gives you x squared. X times minus 2 is minus 2x. 1 times each of those is x squared, x, and minus 2. And then usually diagonals are the same, are like terms. So your answer then is x cubed plus 2x squared minus 1x minus 2. Hey, they got 3. That's a mistake. It's got to be. X plus 1 is 1x cubed. That's an x squared. How did I do that? x cubed, x squared, minus 2x. Yeah, I think I'm crazy in the head. So I guess I'll have to go back and change that for next year. All right, on this one, sorry for the mistake, you guys. F divided by g, there it is. The only thing that was special about this one is that this thing actually factors into x. Let's see, it'd be plus 2 x minus 1. So when you've got this divided by this, the top factored into that, it's a product, so I can cancel, and that cancels out to leave you x minus 2. Again, order does matter. G divided by f of x means that g is going to be on top, and x or f of x is going to be the function that's on the denominator, or in the denominator. Okay, you can still factor it, so that'd be x plus 1, x minus 2. Those would cancel out, and you'd be left with 1 over x minus 2. So again, order matters. Okay, here, this is the harder one, and this is what I've been trying to coach you guys on a bit earlier. That's pronounced f of g of x, and this is how you do it. This is the composition. And this is what this unit was titled, function composition. The advice I would give you guys, and this advice I've been saying as soon as you guys start to learn about evaluating stuff in functions, is that you write the outer function first. Do not try and write the inner function in it straight away. Eventually, you guys might want to try it, but I'm telling you, you're bound to make mistakes if you try. Foolproof. Never fail. If f of x is x squared plus x minus 2, and I'm looking for f of g of x, write your function first without the variable, parenthesis in its place. Then worry about what you're filling into it. I want to find f of g of x. So fill in g of x wherever there's the parenthesis. So you're going to put in an x plus 1 and an x plus 1. Expand it, and we've been working on not having to FOIL that sucker. X squared plus 2x plus 1 plus x plus 1 minus 2. So you get x squared plus 3x. It looks like it, because that's plus 2 minus 2. So f of g of x is x squared plus 3x. Order matters. This time it's g of f of x, so g comes first. G of x is equal to x plus 1. So write the function without the variable, parenthesis in place of the variable. Then go and fill inside it whatever I'm looking for. I'm looking for g of f of x. So put f of x in that space where the parenthesis is. X squared plus x minus 2. So your answer is x squared plus x minus 1. And you guys can see the answers are definitely different. Order does matter. Okay, function decomposition. Once you guys get a little more comfortable with this, the function decomposition I actually think is kind of fun. You've done a composition of functions. You've put some two things together. What could they have come from? This first one may not be all that instructive, but I'm hoping the second one is. If you've done the composition of two functions, how about x plus 6 is f of x? And I have to do it in the order that this is given. How about x squared? So, follow the advice I gave you. F of something, there's f, is something plus 6. And then go and fill in g of x inside here. G of x is worth x squared. And there it is, x squared plus 6. Now, it doesn't always work this way, so let me show you some ones that where this is the only option for this. Whereas this one has two different possible answers. Let's see. First thing, how about square root of x plus 3? So what does that mean this one has to be? X plus 2. So when you do the composition, write f of x without the variable, stick g of x inside it, there it is. Okay? Another alternative would be, how about just x plus 3? Well, then that leaves this thing has to be x plus 2. So when you do the composition, there you go. Okay. I'm not thinking that either one of these is particularly better than the other, but they're options. And the homework's going to say, decompose these functions into something that it could have come from. And it doesn't say one's better than the other, so, and it doesn't list both. So I would just, when you have questions, when you come to it, be sure to ask. I hate to sound wishy-washy on this, but on the ones where there's more than one way to do it, don't automatically assume that what you wrote is wrong. If you have questions on it, ask. Okay? And that looks like the whole assignment. So good luck. Let me know what questions you got.